got another finish, Coffee Time Dear Coffee, again by Lizzie Kate. Started on 8th of the 4th, 2020, finished on 11th of the 4th, 2020 with 1,754 stitches, if I counted correctly. And again, you can see I've just done the specialty colour there. Love it. I need to get them up. Then we have another finish. I was in a bit of a finishing mood. Death Before D-Stash by Wild Violet Cross Stitch on 32 count Vanilla Coffee by Jay's X Stitch using one of Jay's threads. Started on 4th of the 5th, 2020 and finished on 8th of the 7th, 2020 with 1,844 stitches. And I absolutely love it. I've got the, not Krennic, Petite Treasure Braid for the scissors. And I absolutely love it. I'm hoping to get it made into a little Notions bag so I can use it with the tote bag I got from the Mittagong Stitches retreat one day. And then I think we're, oh no, not my last finish, but another finish of mine, Perman 142365 by Perman of Copenhagen. Started and finished on 5th of the 5th, 2020 with 546 stitches. And I love these little Permans. They're so effective and I need to find and stitch them all. Next up we have To Stitch or Not to Stitch by My Big Toe Cross Stitch Designs. I started this on 6th of the 5th, 2020 and put in 238 stitches, and I believe I'm using my own colours for it. Not a lot, but it was a mania start, so it's a pretty decent mania day. Then I have Fractiflowers by La Di Da on 18 count colour cascades in a colourway Brown Sugar. Started on 7th of the 5th, 2020. I managed 304 stitches, and this is also a colour conversion that I haven't completely figured out yet. Wasn't organised enough to do, I believe that's upside down. Wasn't organised enough to do a full floss toss. I will just, as I come to it, make the changes as necessary. But I love this colour fabric. Then I have Ripples on Water by Spirit of Belarus. Started on 8th the 5th, 2020, and I put in 387 stitches. I am using my own floss as well. I'm not sure if it came with a recommended. This was tough to stitch. It took so much thinking. I frogged so much. The only thing getting me through, I've seen this completed and it is amazing. So it will be done one day, just like everything else. Then I have Live What You Love by Stitchspirations. I'm sorry, I stumble over that every single time. I started on 9th of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 687 stitches. And not a lot to look at yet. Then I have another one by Stitchspirations, Punch Today in the Face. Started on 10th of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 453 stitches. I would love to get this one up at work. Not sure how suitable it is. Like, it's not swearing, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it because it won't be anytime soon. Next up we have Festive Townhouse by Michael Powell. Started on the 11th of the 5th, 2020, and I put in 379 stitches. So tiny, but so far away from being complete. Then I have Sleeping Princess by Mirabilia on 18 count Sorcerer by Colour Cascades. Started on 12th of the 5th, 2020, and it only got 21 stitches, so let's see if we can spot them. And I think it goes this way. So just a tiny, tiny amount. I should be able to do this as called for colours. but I will have to see. Then we have Roses of Provence by Mirabilia on 18 count colour cascades in the colourway Wicked Garden. Started on 14th of the 5th, 2020. I got 87 stitches. This will be a colour conversion. I have not figured it out as yet. I think it goes this way. I would love the dress to be black and deep purple, but that's a lot to do. This fabric is just divine, but I've managed a little bit of the tree in the corner. Then we have Fleur de Couleur by Jamie Chalmers. Started on the 15th of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 374 stitches. I've just got the center of the flower. Not a lot, but every stitch counts. Next up, I've got 3 of the same chart started on the same day. It's Motherhood by Heaven and Earth Designs Selena Fenich. I started them all on 16th of the 5th, 2020 and put 57 stitches into each of them. As I go through, like I'm doing them for my 2 nephews and niece, I would like to keep them at roughly the same level so I don't sort of finish one and get burnt out. I probably won't be doing exactly the same stitches going forward, but for Mania I wanted to. I'm going to show you the 3 pieces of fabric. I dyed them all myself, and then I'll show you one of them because they're all the same and you don't need to see that 3 times over. So just that small start, which you can't see with the shadows. Not a lot. I do want to get a wriggle on with these because my nephew, or my oldest nephew, is 4.5, so aiming to have them done before they're too much older. Okay, we are getting there. Move the pile closer. Next up we have my last finish, Let's Stay Home by Hello from Liz Matthews. This was very generously donated with the stay-at-home orders and the COVID. Started and finished on the 17th of the 5th, 2020 with 543 stitches. Again, if I counted correctly. Sorry, I got itchy nose from the kitty. I don't know what the fabric was, and it's a couple of Silks for You silk. And I'm not sure if I want to finish that in a little cushion or hang it up somewhere. Next up we have Crossword by Long Dog Samplers on 32 count mustard mix by Jay's X Stitch. I am using a Silks for You. I started on the 18th of the 5th, 2020 and put in 140 stitches. I don't seem to like to leave charts well enough alone. I will be changing this one. I'm just doing the actual crossword, and then I will be changing the background. I won't be using the motifs that come with the chart.
What's up, baby?
Wee wee. Then I have What's My Number by Emma Condon. Started on the 19th of the 5th, 2020 with 184 stitches. I have dyed this fabric myself and I'm using a Silks for You. And I need to get it finished because it's just the cutest little cushion. Yeah, you're very chatty. Then we have Healing Rose Ornament by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Carol Cavallari. Started on the 20th of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 109 stitches. And it goes this way. Not a lot to look at, but bigger than some of my starts. Then there is Midnight Stroll Mini, again by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Julie Fain. I started this on the 21st of the 5th, 2020. I'm doing this with Armour from Armour's Little Wonders. She is much further ahead than I am. I've only put in 24 stitches. It's a beautiful chart. The colours are just so me. I just need to work on it. Then I have Three Little Words by Lizzie Kate on 32 count colour cascades after the rain. I started on 22nd of the 5th, 2020 and have put in 171 stitches. I don't know which way is up, so I am guessing. But again, beautiful fabric. And I am doing a colour conversion. I'm probably just going to do it monochromatic if I can get it to work and not look ridiculous. Then I have To-Do List, again by Lizzie Kate on black 18 count Aida. Started on the 24th of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 17 stitches. I will be moving this around, taking out a lot of the icons and just having the actual wording, and I'll probably need to center them. Then I have Dogwood Mini by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Cindy Christensen. Started on 25th of the 5th, 2020, and I have 172 stitches. And I have not finished the gridding. This will hopefully come out with a Stitch With Me if I can find the time and get the setup to work for me. Then next up is Accept Grandmas by Lindy Stitches on a random piece of 32 count something. I'm doing a colour conversion as well as changing grandma to Nan Nan. My kids' grandma, what my kids call their grandma. Just again, a tiny start. I don't think I said how many stitches, that got 43. And then I have another of Lindy Stitches patterns, Penelope's Posies Pincushion. This is a full kit, so using whatever fabric was included. I started on the 27th of the 5th, 2020, put in 88 stitches. I'm not sure if this is upside down or not, but this is the first time using partial stitches, and I think I've done okay.
Yeah.
Then I have Heart with Jewels by Michael Powell. Started on the 28th of the 5th, 2020, and I've only put in 30 stitches. Almost not worth it, but it is. And then I have Turkish Tile by Works by ABC. Started on the 29th of the 5th, 2020. I've put in 53 stitches. I'm not sure what the fabric is. I'm not a huge lover. It's not the best to work with, but I'm hoping I can persevere because I would love to stitch this twice and turn it into a biscornu. That is the plan at least. Then I have Good Things by Lizzie Kate. Started on 30th of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 20 stitches. Don't even remember what company I think it might be a Cottage Garden Threads, but I also could be wrong. Next up is Be the Villain by Peacock and Fig. Started on the 31st of the 5th, 2020, and I've put in 15 stitches. I will most likely not stitch the whole thing. I'm just planning on stab something every day, but we'll see what happens with that. And I think I said before that was my final finish, but I do have another one, Positivity Rules by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, using the kit fabric and floss. I have, however, combined and blended the threads rather than doing the colour blocking. I started on the 10th of the 6th, 2020, finished on 25th of the 10th, and I put in 8,535 stitches. Again, if I counted correctly. And I love it. Super fun. I love it. No. Then I have another one by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, Bloom and Grow, again using the kit. I am doing this 1/1 though, and again, not doing the colour blocking, so I've had to pick the pot colour. So I started on the 18th of the 6th, 2020, and have put in 4,349 stitches. And it's absolutely darling. Sorry, just had to let the kitty out. I don't normally close the door, but the kids are really loud tonight. Moving on. Next up, I have July by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Anna Dittman. Started on the 24th of the 6th, 2020. I've put in 164 stitches. I am also working on this with Armour. And I have started in, this way, the bottom corner because I wanted to get to the colour. I didn't want to start on a background, like light colour. Not a lot. Again, that one, hopefully, obviously, I don't know if I've been keeping up, is on 28 count, easy guide. Next up is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage Merino grey Lugana in a Brenda Bella Threads floss. I started this on the 4th of the 7th, 2020 and have put in 988 stitches. And ideally I would like to complete the border before I do the inside. I'm very nervous about counting because it's a long way around and I don't want to stuff it up, but again, I really like borders being complete before I do the majority of the stitching. Then we have June by Heaven and Earth Designs, Anna Dittman. I started on the 13th of the 7th and have only put in 39 stitches. This is another one that Armour is also working on, and I will try to show you, but I can barely see it in real life, so it may be a bit of a struggle. You can sort of see white on white. It's not actually white, but you get the picture. It's difficult. Then next up, I've got Quotes to Live by Stitch Rovia. I restarted this on the 24th of the 8th and have put in 3,570 stitches. This was originally my oldest WIP, but I stupidly was doing 3/1 and I just, no. And I have coffee dyed the fabric myself. And I'm loving it. And I don't think I've mentioned this is a full colour conversion. Then I have the bedspread, Small Magellanic Cloud by Heaven and Earth Designs, NASA image. Started on the 11th of the 9th, 2020 and have put in 105 stitches. I'm not going to unroll it all because it is literally the size of my queen bed, and I have only put in a tiny little line. I, in my head, knew the numbers but didn't translate to what the size actually would be. May have made a mistake getting 18 count, but it'll look amazing in 20 years when it's done. And we are getting super close, guys. Thank you for hanging with me. We have Reader's Paradise Supersize Max Color by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Amy Stewart. I started this on the 21st of the 10th, 2020. I've put in 21 stitches, and just for something different, Armour from Armour's Little Wonders is also stitching this, and I've got a tiny little start up the top, and it is on 28 count easy guide fabric, and I don't know what I've done. Trying to fold it. Then I have Sakura Fuji, an anchor kit. I started on the 24th of the 10th and I've put in 40 stitches. I am doing this with Manda from Pennington Terrace and Jay's X Stitch. There's 3 pieces and we're each doing one, and they are both putting me to shame with how much they have stitched. I've got just that tiny little bit there. One day it will be done, and I can't remember what the fabric is. It's not the kit fabric, but I don't remember. Next up is Storytime by Gecko Rouge, artwork by Aruda Art. I started on the 26th of the 10th, 2020. I've put in 223 stitches. This is a kit and I'm working on 28 count, and I blame Kelly from Animal Instinct completely and entirely. I've held off for so long and then she showed me her update and I bought it the same day. Loving it so far. Obviously haven't done a lot. I'm working along the thread length because it's obviously not gridded and I don't want to make a mistake, so I'm not parking and I'm not doing extreme. I think you know what I'm talking about. I hope. Then we have Tea and Books by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Bridget Ashwood, started on the 15th of the 11th, 2020, and I have put in 147 stitches. I'm doing this with Manda from Pennington Terrace, Jay from Jay's X Stitch, and Alma from Alma's Little Wonders. It is a beautiful piece. I started parking. I was loving it. You can see I missed a colour. I thought I had the full DMC set, but apparently I was missing one. And again, I will probably start to feather this like Hannah does because I am loving it. And I need to get back to it just for something different. Then next up I have Aussie Christmas by Frog Cottage Designs on 32 count fabric from Fortnite Fabrics. This is the greens from their fall winter collection. I am doing somewhat of a colour conversion. I'm not sure if I'll convert all of it, but I'm at least using silks for the words. I started this on 22nd of the 11th, 2020, and I've put in 513 stitches. And I can't get the gorgeousness of this fabric to show. Love it. Loving it. Would love to have that up for Christmas, but I don't know how realistic that is. Then I have Apple Blossom Mini by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Marianne Broom. I started this on the 8th of the 12th, 2020, and I have put in 109 stitches. And this is me actually trying Hannah's method completely, and I loved it. It's a little slow going because it is literally one stitch at a time, but I think it's nice to just not worry about the getting it done and just really enjoying the stitching. So I won't do every one of my WIPs one by one, but I'm going to keep this one because I love it. Then I have the Peppermint Purple sale from 2020, obviously by Peppermint Purple. I restarted this on the 28th of the 11th, 2020, and have put in 550 stitches. And I need to get moving because the new one is released soon, and this is all I've got. And I've got 3 other pieces to get to at least this stage, if not further. And I'm probably going to do a 5th version of 2021 with her alternate square, not a square layout. It's beautiful, go have a look. And then second to last, I've got Everflowering Garden by Our Forest Embroidery. On a 32 count, I have tea dyed myself. I started on the 15th of the 12th and I've put in 97 stitches. I don't know if Alma plans on stitching this one, but it's her fault that I found it, and I'm not upset, but it is gorgeous, tiny little start. Cannot wait to get this one done. Not my usual style. Obviously, I do a lot of full coverage, but I think my tastes are somewhat changing as I see all of the beautiful work. And then last but not least, I've got Rainbow Quilt by Peppermint Purple. I started on the 24th of the 12th, 2020, and have put in 1,066 stitches. This is on 14 count because where I was holidaying for Christmas didn't have access to 18 count, and I am choosing my own colours. And I've got a fair bit done actually. Considering I was on holidays, this was my stress from family relief. Not immediate family. not my 4 little created family. But anyway, so got a fair bit done and absolutely loving that. So that's all of my WIPs. I'm surprised there aren't more, as I mentioned before. So in 2020, I managed 109,470 stitches. If you've seen my videos, you may know that I was aiming for 200,000, but no one could have predicted 2020, and I almost lost my stitching bug and stopped stitching entirely. But thanks to, pardon me, thanks to my haystack, I did force myself to stitch every single day, so I'm more than happy with what I achieved. I'm trying to be a lot more sensible with my 2021 goals. It's work is probably going to be busy. I can't see that changing. While I am going to, as I said, try and enforce my lunchtime break, I don't have the hours I used to when I started cross stitching, and that's okay. So thank you so much if you've stuck with me until the end. This will probably not go up straight away because there is a fair bit of editing and I'm trying to be kind on myself. So you will probably see the December update before this one. So you might see a couple of you'll see some double ups, but hopefully you've enjoyed. And next year, next year when I do my 2021 WIP parade, there will hopefully be before photos because I think I found a way to keep myself more organized. Until next time, thank you guys for watching.